Hey everybody. I will guess, well, I will say you probably can't guess that I'm back at Nevada DMV. And why am I here today? Well, the last video that I did highlighted the fact that DMV's created these fake regulations and fake laws, and they've been enforcing them. So I walked into my office today, and guess what I got? I got another DMV denial letter. So they're still enforcing the fake laws and saying that I can't have titles for cars that I bought 6+ months ago that they haven't issued titles for yet. They're saying that I can't buy it because I didn't buy it from a third party. That was never the law. I think I proved that the other day on my last video, and I'm going to make some more of those highlighting their
counter number.
What do you call it? A malicious conspiracy, I think is what you call it. So anyways, let's go into DMV here and see if we can find an enforcement officer to talk to and ask them why they're still enforcing the fake laws. So here we go. And hopefully the signal doesn't get messed up by being in the building. Sometimes these lives get messed up by going inside these buildings. So I think I know where to go. We're going to go back here, and this is where they have the Appleton guy. I think that's his name. He's an investigator for the DMV Police Department. Why does DMV need a police department anyways? Why do we spend tax dollars on that?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, I will. You let me know. You let me know. Okay, I know what you're tomorrow. Close.
Now serving
You're welcome.
1379 at test station 55.
Hi there. I might need Appleton or one of the CED guys. I've got a question on a title application that I got returned to me.
I never seen that either, but it does his DMV on it. It does his DMV.
If it's the medical form, like for reevaluation, when the physician.
How's it going? You see my latest video? Check it out. It's pretty good. So anyways, this is the document that they sent back to me. So you'll see that it's dated July 3rd. And they're telling me that I can't buy a car because it must be sold at a competitive auction to a non-involved third party. And there's the laws that they made up. 108272, which is a notice, I believe. 3D, that's notice on how to give notice of a lien sale. And then there's that 108-26797, which is the law that says that the director of DMV can create regulations. But again, there was never any legislative intent to create this regulation until, well, just recently. So I can't show you too much of this. Some of this is legally confidential. But what I will show you is, so they sent it back to us on July 3rd. And where did it go? Get their date stamp on here.
Counter number 24.
Oh, here we go. So anyways, the date stamp from DMV on this document, they originally received it March 6th of 2023.
Now serving.
And we asked for a title.
107.
But they take until July 3rd to send their stuff back. And then they send it back for illegal reasons. And remember in the last video I posted, sharing the DMV emails,
all of our different trade lines. They want us to, yeah,
there was never a law for those words, but
trade line.
DMV enforces non-laws. And that's why we're here today, is to ask them why they're still doing this. How's it going? Good. See my latest video? Go check it out.
Doing live right now?
What's that?
You're doing live right now?
This is live, yes.
Pretty cool. You can just do that right on YouTube. Live.
Yep.
That's pretty neat.
Go live, share information, and that way everybody sees
It's cool how you get
real life. No editing. Not until later.
You want to see me apparently.
Hey, Appleton. So I got this back the other day, or actually just got this back. Can you tell me what's wrong with that? Why did they return that? Other than it says that I can't buy a car from a third party. And again, I think we've established that was not a law. Have we established that? So why is DMV still enforcing non-laws?
You run it again. We do this how many times? I mean,
Yeah, that's the problem. We keep doing it.
but
I keep trying to mitigate the situation, and DMV keeps enforcing laws that don't exist. So why?
so you're coming to me, right? Like I have an answer for you, and you have an answer what they're saying you're doing wrong.
Well,
And I can
no.
find out and I can ask, but you keep coming to me like I'm gonna give you some answers that you're not gonna get from me.
Well, who should I go talk to then? Who can give me the answer?
You talk to legislation about the lien salt.
Well, no, no, that's the
You
problem.
talk to the NTA about how you're doing business.
No,
You need to
that's
talk
the
to
problem. You
CSD.
created it. No, you're telling me I need to go do all these things, but we've done these things. And the words, okay, tell me where the requirement to have a third party involved legally was enshrined in law in March of 2023. Because that's why you returned that to me, is because I didn't have a third party. The sale
Are you
happened.
trying to sell it to yourself? Is that the thing?
Where is that against the law?
We've already told you for 2 years.
No, for 2 years you told
been
me
a policy.
it's been a policy, and you're enforcing a policy as law.
Which
Policy.
you can do because
No,
of
you
the
can't.
NRS for it. Do you not understand NRS?
I do. NRS 233B. So you're telling me that you just make
That's a business
policies?
law that has nothing to do with the DMV.
No, it has everything to do with DMV. It's the regulation-making process.
Listen, I'm not here to argue with you. You put me in a little film. We've already talked about it. You don't put certain things. But here's the thing. Like I said, I told you last time. Okay? Are you looking? Is it going?
It's going.
Is that a good angle of me?
It's
Okay.
perfect angle of you.
Good. So, legislation, right? With your board, you own a tow company.
Yes.
You do lien sales.
Yes.
You're essentially a car dealer with everything that you're doing and how many cars that you sell, right?
No.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you are, but you sell quite a bit of cars.
Yes, we sell junk
Through
cars.
lien sales, and that's fine.
Yes.
Okay, so again, legislation comes down.
Yes.
NRS is made and passed.
Okay, so where was the NRS that you're enforcing in that letter?
Time out. So, your union that you're part of, and different things.
I'm not a
and
part of the
your-
union.
and your lobbyists.
I'm
and
not
different
I'm not a part of a
different
union or
agencies,
lobbyist.
They're part of this.
I am a
They
lobbyist.
They make agreements, they make deals, legislation comes down, things get passed, it comes down from
Okay.
that level, it gets approved, it goes to the administrator of the DMV or
So-
administrator of whatever type state things, and then it comes down to me, right? And I enforce NACs, NRSs, and DMV policies.
DMV policies are not laws, and you cannot enforce a policy as a law.
What's the one with the, and again, I don't have it off the top of my head, but the DMV policy we've gone over you for 2 years.
NRS 108-27697, which says that the DMV director can create, they use the word regulation, and then if you go look at NRS 233B038, you'll find the definition of a regulation, and you'll find the regulation-making process. Why did DMV never complete the regulation-making process to enforce this?
That's a problem that you think has happened. There's some other actions and steps that you need to go talk to much higher up people and things.
Oh, I'm doing that too.
And again, man, like that's what I'm trying to tell you. So all I'm trying to say is if the DMV 2 years ago made this policy, and we've been talking to you nonstop for 2 years, right? And then that's what we're doing. I don't know what else you'd like me to tell you. I mean, I'm just saying, right? Because like that's a DMV policy.
Yeah, so have you read Article 1, Section 1 of the Nevada Constitution?
That's not
Article
what we're
1,
talking
no, we are talking about the Nevada
That's
Con.
not.
I have a right to acquire property,
I mean, this
possess property, and protect
is
property.
hell what you're doing. Like,
Why is it childish to document a government agency violating the state constitution,
It's not.
the 14th Amendment of the
You want to put it down and have a
the,
conversation as an adult and a grown man?
I've tried
you
this.
should do that. But then what you do is you go and you put this on YouTube and you edit it and you make it.
there is no editing this. This is live.
Well, there you go. So there you go. So
You got people watching this live.
wow. There's 700 people. Does that make you feel good?
I don't care. I just want to document
I don't care
your
either.
illegal
So
actions.
I'm telling you, and your 700 people in live can know. The policy that we've had for 2 years that we've discussed with you through emails, through phone conversations, through different things that you've known about. This isn't new. And we tell you that you cannot sell a car to yourself. And these are the policies and the reasons why and the interests that we're getting it from. What else do you want?
I want a law instead of you enforcing policies and feelings, because the DMV enforces policies and feelings with the purpose of preventing small business. NRS 233B.
The right to change policy through
No,
rules
no, no.
for what we like.
It doesn't say you get to
Like
change
things that happen.
policies. It says you get to create regulations.
Okay, so a regulation that we've created that
Oh,
you've known for 2
A regulation by definition is NRS 233B. It goes through a legislative process. And actually, the EPA just got sued and the Supreme Court came down with a decision. And what the decision said was that there has to be clear legislative intent behind any regulations created. You guys never even had legislative intent to create your policies. You just created a policy to prevent small business from profit.
Again, if that's something that you feel is happening.
No, it's not what I feel. It's what your emails say.
I still, again, right?
Go watch the latest video.
If that's what you feel is happening, there's other people and other ways that you need to take action on that.
Well, I'm doing that too. This is one way.
So for me, I'm going to tell you that this is the policy and the reason, and you're stated clearly right here for anyone that wants to know. Vehicle must be sold at competitive auction and sold to a non-involved third party. It gives the statutes. I don't know what else is
So why did you put that? Why did that have to go into HB 57? It just became law on July 1st, but you've been enforcing the law for 2.5 years before it became law. So why did you have to codify it in law since you've been enforcing it for 2.5 years?
Is there anything else that you want to know, man?
I just want to get my titles, man. So you can't help me. So should I go talk to somebody at CSD, or who should I talk to?
Well, so you're talking about the titles that you submitted to me?
No, I'm talking about that. Those two. I want my titles. You guys have been holding my vehicles and my titles and my property for years now.
Again, it looks like you're trying to sell this to yourself.
I did sell it to myself. I won it at auction. I won it at auction.
Okay.
I can't win a vehicle at a public auction, so you're saying I'm denied from participating in a public auction. That's what you're saying,
I'm
right?
saying that what you've been told, that you can't sell it to yourself.
You can't participate in a public auction.
Again, what else would you like to know? So
I want to
that's
know
denied.
how I can acquire property in the state of Nevada, since there are arbitrary rules for me to not be able to acquire property, but yet you could come to my public auction and win?
Business, dude.
What is...
And you're selling it to yourself. Think about that, right? There's a conflict.
There is no conflict of interest if at a public auction.
Regardless, again, it's a policy. There's NRS that gives us the reason to mandate it and to make it, which we did, which you've known about for 2 years, and you're still arguing it 2 years later.
I'm not,
over and over.
after July 1st, I'm not arguing it because now it's law. Before, you're enforcing feelings and policies that somebody wrote
We
down.
both talked about the NRS and what it is.
State agencies don't get to enforce policies and feelings. You get to enforce regulations and laws. I understand clearly.
The interpretation of the NRS is incorrect, which it seems to be. I don't know how to help you.
You're saying that NRS 233B and the requirement to have public meetings, the requirement to sit down with all of the business owners, the requirement to have legislative intent, the requirement to go through the Legislative Council Bureau, that are all laid out in 233B does not apply to the DMV, right?
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, but you just said that you guys made policies and you're enforcing policies. Director Butler referenced 108-26797 in that letter, stating that that's the law, but all that says is that she gets to create regulations. You take the word regulation, you look it up under the law, and the law says this is what a regulation is, a directive, anything that tells a small business how to perform under the law. You have to create a regulation for. You don't get to make a policy and enforce it, and that's what you've done.
That's what I've done here. If your interpretation, if that's what's happened, then there's other protocols and measures that you can take to dispute that, correct?
I'm taking every measure I can to mitigate the issue. One of the issues is to be down here with you, try to get through to you, try to get you to understand that policies are not laws.
Drew, on things that, when the lien sub goes exactly, there's multiple NRSs and NACs and policies that we have for lien sales. When those go through, do you have any issue with your lien sale packet? So those get pushed through and get approved?
No, you guys keep all the titles, anything I'm involved in, anything business is involved in. I brought you a lot of complaints. How come my complaints haven't been answered yet? Where's my titles?
Person in existence, Drew.
Why does it take a year to get a title?
A year? You gave me something a month, 2 months ago.
And those have been floating around for a year, just like this started back in March. This has been floating around for 3 or 4 months.
Listen, I'm not here to argue with you, right? I'm here to do my job, and if you have something, I can just tell you that the reason it was denied is because you sold this to yourself.
To a third, and I had to have a third party.
6797, which again, I don't understand what we're disputing here.
Well, we're disputing that I have to pay more money to buy something than somebody else in the state of Nevada. Why do I have to pay a third party when you don't have to pay a third party? Why do I have to spend more money to acquire property? Why is there discrimination against me?
There's no discrimination.
There's no so how is it not discriminatory?
You own the business, and because of 108-267-97,
One oh-
DMV has made policy, right?
No, 108-26797 doesn't say the director gets to make policy. That says the director can create regulation.
So-
Regulation is different than policy. Regulation is defined under NRS 233B038.
We've determined that you can't sell to yourself, and you're still arguing.
You determined it.
No.
The legislature, the DMV determined it, not the legislature,
Who deals with lien sales.
not the legislature. So you're saying the DMV
So-
determined it.
I'm saying that the reason that you can't sell it to yourself from your own business is stated right here.
Right, because you made up.
Let your people.
Oh, I've already showed it to them.
Okay, well, there you go. I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
We're all on the same page.
You're interpreting something differently than I'm interpreting it, and if you have a problem with it, there are actions that you can take.
This is part of the action.
Okay, so coming to me and trying to get me to say something or argue with me when I've already done this with you 25 times, we've talked about it. You dropped something off to me 2 months ago, packets that you want to give to me, and then you send me emails constantly asking where your stuff is.
Yeah, where's my stuff? Why does it take 2 months to process papers?
You're not the only person in existence. I'm dealing with the whole state of Nevada on a lot of things. I have other cases, Drew. I'm not just going to take your stuff and throw it in the trash can or something. I have it, but
Yeah.
damn, I can't get to it just because you want me to get to it. Snap, snap. You're not the number one client of the DMV.
I don't expect to be the number one client, but I think 60, waiting 60 days, waiting over 60 days.
Cell phone, you're sending me emails. You're constantly coming at me like I'm doing something, right? And I'm just telling you.
I just want my
you're an
titles.
audience right here, and I'm telling you that you can get your titles once we go through the thing because you submitted something to us. I didn't take something from you and stop you from getting something. You submitted it.
No,
to me.
I submitted it to you because you returned it to me saying that it wasn't lawful,
I just wanted
and
to
there is no law.
So that's the answer to the email you sent me yesterday. So is there any other questions that you have for me?
I'll keep working, so why don't you give me my documents back, and I'll go try to Carson City possibly, unless you can get those titles issued. I just want my title.
If you do something in the right way and all policies. And
That was done the right way.
then you get it. And I've personally worked with you, right? Personally worked with you and the employees of your company to get things done or to get things maneuvered around. You don't seem to talk about that a lot.
That's because I'm waiting for my titles for a year. I'm waiting for my titles for 90 days, 6 months,
Telling me that I'm holding something up.
and you're enforcing policies, not laws.
You don't talk about all the things that get pushed through, or all the things that you're doing.
Why should,
Very
so,
one-way street of thought.
no, my one-way street of thought is,
Painting a picture that's not a real picture.
I'm just painting a picture with the documents. My one-way street of thought is I submit something to DMV, and it should be handled within 30 days at the most. Why does it take 6 months to a year to process titles?
Station
Sure, I don't work for
55.
CSD or any other type of thing. If you have things that are wrong with your lien sales, then I do tell you the process is this. Let's say they find something that's wrong, right? So they'll send you this correspondence, okay? Let's
Yeah.
say you come back and you say, hey, I'm gonna send it in again, and now you send it in, and now they see different things wrong, or duplicates, or something that wasn't done
But
correctly.
there's nothing wrong in this one, other than I bought the
I
car.
haven't looked at this other than this title page right here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general.
I bought the car, so I can't have a
Sometimes
car.
things do get pushed to the side, and they say, hey, Compliance Enforcement Division, can you guys look at this?
No.
I'll say, sure, and we'll look at it and review, but I also have my cases, I have other things going on, and this is what we do, right? We look at it, but I mean, you're not getting all things that come from AA towing aren't just put in a pile, and we just hold it for a year. That's not what's happening at all.
No, you got stuff in your pile from, like, say, AA Action Towing. I talked to John the other day, talked to a bunch of other tow operators called Western States Towing the other day. That's the very first one of these lien sales that you returned back in 2020 when you started this illegal operation of enforcing policies and not regulations and not laws. And that's the problem, is you're enforcing policies and feelings instead of codified regulations and codified laws.
And if that's your interpretation of it.
Well, then you go online and find out where that language existed in law or regulation prior to this.
Other outlets and roads for you to take than coming and trying to argue with me about this.
Not an argument, just a question.
Well, I mean, it's not just a question because you're telling me what I think. You're not asking me a question as much as you're trying to tell me something. And that's the problem with every time we speak, right?
Well, the question is then, you will not issue a title to me because I did not utilize a third party in an auction, say, 6 months ago, when there was no law that said I had to, right?
Again, 108.26797.
108-26797. Look that up, people.
Look it up. And based on that, for the last 2 years, you have been personally notified in email and phone calls, in person, in conversation, and told, hey, this is what we're doing, this is the way that it is for this, and this is why. And you're still here arguing. So if you have an argument that you think that something is wrong or different, there's other outlets for you to take it.
Well, this language is in a proposed regulation from September 22nd, 2022, and that proposed regulation never passed. So why were you enforcing a proposed regulation before it was ever codified in regulation, which is the same words that are on that document?
Again, man, we just had the same.
Yeah, we're walking in circles because you're the policy police, not the law enforcement.
Okay. Well, so we deal with administrative things here and we deal with criminal things. In this matter, right? Administrative, you have an issue with the lien sale packet, we try to get it corrected for you, or we try to get you to come into compliance with the regulations and the NRSs and the NACs and the policies that you need to do.
Compliance with policies.
So again,
You keep using the word policy.
Compliance, right? I'm trying to tell you. I'm saying there's a three-thing road, right? There's NRSs, there's NACs, and there's policies. Okay.
Policies aren't laws.
True.
And you don't get to create a policy which is a directive that tells a small business how to do things, and all of that is clear in 233B. So why does 233B not have an effect for the Nevada Department of Motor Vehicles?
If that's your interpretation of it, there's probably other outlets that you could take to try to get that clarified for yourself. So
my attorney's very clear on it.
Is it?
He's very clear.
Well, I don't know what else to tell you then. So, I mean.
Okay, I appreciate the time.
And then, so again, right, the things that you dropped off to me, those are still under review. We just talked about it last week. You just sent me an email yesterday.
Yeah, where's my titles?
I literally just explained it to you 5 minutes ago.
See, it's very simple to me. If you look at it and go, this is what the NRS or the NAC that's codified in the black and the white that's gone through the Legislative Council Bureau, and that's the law, and that's what you enforce. But you guys don't. You guys instead, you enforce these policy words that prevent me from acquiring property, which is Article 1, Section 1 of the Nevada Constitution. That's my right to acquire property. And you won't let me acquire property.
Explain why. So anyway, there's no other questions, man. Thank you for stopping by.
No, there we go, man. I'll be back. We'll keep doing this until you guys start following the law and stop breaking the law.
My point is if you have a different interpretation of it, there's different outlets for you to take at a higher level to get this resolved at different means.
I'm taking every avenue I can take, I'm taking.
Okay. Well,
This is just one avenue.
hey, good luck, man.
I appreciate it.
I'll let you know when I get those, but again, just, I told you, like, I do have many other things going on, and you sent those to me. I don't work for Drew Rybar.
Think about this. If you weren't enforcing uncodified policy, and if you were only enforcing NAC or NRS, that's codified law and codified regulation, how much extra time you would have? Seriously, think about that. If you were only enforcing laws, and instead of forcing feelings and policies to prevent small business from making a profit, think about how much extra time you would have.
Again, that seems to be your interpretation of that.
I'm just looking at the law, and you're saying we're enforcing policies here at the DMV.
I got you, man. Have a good day.
Not policies and feelings, not laws.
Have a good day, man.
Did I upset you, ma'am? You too. I just wish the DMV would enforce laws and not policies. Okay, that was interesting. So they're the policy police. We don't enforce laws, we don't enforce regulations. We don't make regulations, we just kind of write them down in emails. And wow, that's what it's like dealing with the government in the state of Nevada. They just make policies and feelings and then force those with their guns and their badges. Anyways, I'll probably go do another live. I'm going to go down to the Carson City DMV where the what's called Central Services Division are, and they're the people that actually issue the titles, and they're the ones that sent this letter back to me. So I'll sign off for now, and then I'll see y'all later if you want to watch that one too.